What's going on, my people, my Star Wars people, my nerd people, my comic book people? It has finally happened. Season 7 is finally here, and it has finally come to a finale. That's a lot of finales, finals, and whatever, but it's here. It came, and boy, did it deliver. Now, by no means was this a perfect season. Between the Bad Batch and the Martez sisters, of course, the Bad Batch was way more badass. I'm sorry, Martez sisters, but you were a little irrelevant. But I digress.
I honestly love how the Bad Batch was handled. Seeing all the different personalities, abilities, and tactics that they used really gave me a new appreciation for non-lightsaber or force-using combat in the series. The only downside of the Bad Batch arc was that it was the final season as opposed to having their own separate season, mostly dedicated to them. The fact that we're somewhat unsure on if we're seeing them again kind of put a damper on things for me, and then knowing that we're approaching Order 66 kind of had me somewhat distracted instead of genuinely getting to know and love the characters. I would be surprised if this was the last we saw of them, but it was a bit unfortunate that they came at a time where the focus felt like it should have been on the main cast. The arc with the Martez sisters, on the other hand, was forgettable yet somewhat necessary, I suppose. A lot is addressed toward the universe's overall view of the war and the Jedi, and it helps Ahsoka develop a bit more as a character. Unfortunately, compared to the Bad Batch and the arcs to follow, this one just isn't as interesting and felt one episode too long. However, once episode 9 of season 7 rolls around, you immediately feel the shift in overall tone and looming inevitability of the tragic events of Order 66. Not to get too far off script, but let me just say that episodes 9 through 12 of season 7 are probably some of the best Star Wars content that we have gotten in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just say it's been a long ass time, but we finally got the content that we deserve. As soon as the episode opens up, anyone who's seen episode 3 would catch wind of familiar scenes like Aayla Secura marching through the jungle with her titties out as per usual, and Plo Koon flying through the city with his clones. That alone kind of gives you the vibe of, oh shit, it's about to go down. Even the way the two clones in the first scene die is reminiscent of the way that Plo Koon dies in episode 3. The episode almost instantly thrusts you into the battle at hand, and you automatically feel like you're on the battlefield. If it wasn't for the fact that this show had a cartoony animation style, I would probably say that this scene was movie-worthy. The tension, the chaos, the drama, all brilliantly and consistently done throughout this scene and by extension the rest of the season. Between episode 9 and 12, we are repeatedly given callback after callback, great foreshadowing, and impeccable fluidity as the episodes proceed to overlap with the events of episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. There were just so many instances where I was like, oh shit, he just said it. He said the thing. Or that sounds familiar. Wait a minute. That's because of this. From episode 9 to 11, we pretty much get a little nod to episode 3 in each episode to either tie in the two pieces of work or to simply give us some insight on how close we are to Anakin's fall from grace in Order 66. As we get closer to the inevitable end, the tension builds in a way that I don't believe I've ever seen in any other Clone Wars episodes. The battles that wage on in each new installment to the series depict a world where we know there's a storm brewing, and the cast can do nothing but sit back and hope that the writings on the wall just aren't true. It's awesome because the feel of that impending doom is not just there because we know what's going to happen, but the way each character is handled, the musical score, and the dark visuals that we get in each episode. Now, as far as the events that take place, I'm not trying to get into every single one of them for the sake of not boring you guys. But can I just say, the Siege of Mandalore and the fight between Ahsoka and Maul were easily the most exciting fights of the series. This is mostly due to the fact that the time between the season and the last were so much further apart that I guess the strides in animation have been made so much so that it would be hard for them to not one-up any of their previous work. However, you can really tell that they wanted to nail this, and they wanted the audience to feel that they were watching a spectacle and not just any other episode. Maul's overall delivery in these episodes were superb. He really played the part of the foreboding omen bearer to perfection and really tied the whole story together. There's just something so entertaining about seeing the previously almost mute Maul go on monologues about the end of the world, and there's something even more intense in knowing that he's right about it all. We already know the story, and we already know what's going to happen, but Season 7 makes it all feel brand new and equally as intense as the first time we saw it go down in theaters. Even to the bitter end, Ahsoka and Rex are able to take the spotlight without coming across as insignificant, despite the audience knowing larger conflicts in the galaxy involving younglings, something called the High Ground, and the birth of the galaxy's baddest man in black. Not you, Samuel.
To me, one of my favorite parts of it is that it cohesively and perfectly lines up with the events of Episode 3. Like, don't get it twisted, I was very hyped to see every episode as soon as it came out. So every Friday that they would release, I would run to my Disney Plus, log in, boom, boom, and I would start watching. But after everything ended, something came over me and said, you know what? There's so many references, and they kind of give you a play-by-play about what's happening in Revenge of the Sith, and kind of letting you know, like, all right, this is where we are, this is how close we are to Order 66. So anybody who's familiar with Revenge of the Sith, watching this would know, all right, we're probably about like an episode or two away from shit going down. But something came over me and I was just like, you know what? Let me watch episodes 9 through 12 while watching Revenge of the Sith. So I would kind of watch one part, pause it, go watch episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I know, kind of extra, but I'm bored. It's quarantine life. What do you expect? And I'm watching it and I'm like, yo, like, this is making episode 3 so much more profound, so much deeper. You get the feel of like Anakin is really throwing it all away. It's just amazing. And if you guys haven't done that, highly recommend it. It's a little time consuming and a little, I don't know, I might be a loser for doing that, but if you are a loser like me, by all means, try it out. You will not be disappointed. But again, all in all, Season 7 of the Clone Wars was a very enjoyable experience. They had great animation, great plot, great acting, voice acting as usual, and it really brought new life, in my opinion, to Star Wars, and really made Star Wars enjoyable once again. I think anybody who's a prequel fan, an OT fan, even some of you new sequel fans, I don't know why you would be a sequel fan, but you know, you're there. I'm just playing. But even for some of the new sequel fans, I can see everybody in the Star Wars community really being able to get together and enjoy this piece of work. And honestly, I hope that Dave Filoni keeps it going. I hope Dave Filoni keeps working. I know he works on Mandalorian, and I just hope he keeps putting on content and they keep giving him roles within Lucasfilm and the ability to direct or whatever he does, write. Whatever that man is doing, he's doing a good job. And I hope that they keep it coming, and I hope that he keeps working, because Season 7 was great. Besides the Martez sisters. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, share this with your homies. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm still new to this, so if there's anything that you think that I should do, please comment. And if you disagree with me, by all means, enter the comment section. You guys don't know me too well yet, but once you get to know me, you will see that I love to argue and I love to discuss. So please, the argument part sounded kind of bad. I love to discuss. I can have very civil discussions with people, not arguments. But if you guys are willing to discuss, please comment below. Let me know what you want to see more from this channel. What could I improve on? Whatever you want to talk about it. But yes, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And may the Force be with you. Always. I gotta come up with something different because I think Star Wars Theory does that. But anyway, have a good day, guys. Peace.